Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What is going on, family? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and always keeping it real, so please, my friends, do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. Look, my friends, on tonight's conversation, we're continuing our conversations with candidates hoping to shape the future of local government, specifically Newport News. Election day is getting closer, and local races often have the biggest impact in our community really in our everyday lives, from public safety and infrastructure to economic development, housing, and how your tax dollars are spent. Now, joining us tonight is Devon Hamilton, candidate for Newport News City Council representing the South District. He's received an endorsement of the Virginia Peninsula Libertarian Party. So we'll discuss what that means for his campaign and how he plans to tackle the challenges facing Newport News and why he believes he's the right choice to represent South District residents. As always, folks, whether you're already know who you're voting for, or you're still making up your mind, tonight is about hearing directly from the candidate, asking tough but fair questions, and helping you become a more informed voter. I can't tell you all enough, and we share about it really all the time on this show. I get it. What's going on in, what happens on a federal level, right? Everybody pays attention on federal politics, and that's important. You want to stay in the know. But look, what happens on a federal level trickles down on a state level, trickles down on a local level, and it's very important that you stay informed of what's going on in your own backyard. So I'm always appreciative that folks like Devon, who is running for local office, a candidate running for local office, to take the time to come here on the show just to speak more about his platform, and so folks can get to know candidates more. Because look, I'll be frank, when it comes on a local level, you might hear a candidate speak or for 5 to 3 minutes on your local news, or there might be an article that just shares a name and their occupation, and that's it. I mean, you rarely get to know about the candidates, and sometimes that is the reason why you see low voting turnout. Okay, now here in Chesapeake, what was different from us compared to Newport News, we have it at large. We don't have single member voting like Newport News. Now we've had a bunch of local candidates, whether from school board to city council. We've had the opportunity to have Mayor Philip Jones on a couple of times. He's seeking re-election, so I'm happy to have Devon on, because I had the opportunity to speak with him before the show. And Devon's a young guy, man. He's a young guy, and I love seeing more young people get involved in local office. I get myself in trouble because I'm not ages here, but I do think that it's time to, kind of out with the old, in with the new. And that's no disrespect to elected officials who have been, serving and serving in office and representing our communities. But when you see folks at a certain age, that's like, wow, when are you gonna retire, or when are you gonna let it go? I appreciate seeing young people taking the leap of faith and pursuing, hey, they see issues going on in their community, in their backyard, and they want to make a difference. So I appreciate that, regardless of the political aisle. You have to give respect to someone who says, no, I want to make a difference. I want to help improve my community, and I know I'm the person for that. So we're gonna get we're gonna talk with Mr. Hamilton about again, his reasons for running, his platform, and all the above. Why should folks in the Southern District of Newport News, why should they come voting day choose Devon Hamilton. We're going to have those. We're going to hopefully get those answered today. But as always, fam, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. As you know, we drop new episodes weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. We're available on all podcast platforms. Apple, iHeart, Spotify, you name it. We're available on all podcast platforms. You can also check us out on GOATverse TV. That's right, GOATverse TV. All you have to do is download the app on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, or Amazon Fire TV. You can check out past episodes of the Arrington Gavin Show on GOATverse TV. You can also follow us on our social media platforms, Instagram at the Arrington Gavin Show, X at AG Show Live. You can also follow us on Blue Sky. We're on Substack as well. You can also check out our website, www.theagshow.com, if you want to stay connected with me and get in contact, or just keeps you up to speed on recent shows. And so, yeah, just, finding more ways to stay connected with us. Also, if you could do me a favor, and if you have not done so yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel, y'all. We see growth each and every day with new subscribers, but we want to keep that momentum going. We have a goal to hit 5,000 by the end of the year. So do me a favor and subscribe, share with a friend, share with family. I truly appreciate all of the support that you have continued to do. But y'all, how is everyone doing today? Let me tell you something. Here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, in the Hampton Roads area specifically, it is hot as hell. When I tell you it is a scorcher, so you know I've told you, like, hey, my wife and I were trying to get back into the, working out and staying fit and whatnot. So we went to the gym today, and it was great. I will say, I mean, it was a great. It's like we, sometimes we're fortunate to feel like we never left, and then sometimes we go in there and be like, damn, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've been in this gym, and today was kind of one of those days, right? And it was hot. Okay, but we completed the task, right? The first obstacle is showing up. The next obstacle is attempting to exercise, and then the next one is finishing. So we did all those things, but what we did that was kind of like a little guilty pleasure afterwards. We went to go get ice cream. Again, it's like 95 degrees. It was hot, and we took a nice quick old trip to Cold Stone. And when I tell you, I felt drunk after having that Cold Stone. Like, I was like, oh gosh, that's what I needed right there. Like, it was so refreshing because it's so hot, y'all. But again, we worked out. We didn't go overboard with the ice cream. We got like the what is this? They got like smaller size. It's weird. They got like the like it, love it, and gotta have it. And I think the like it's like the smallest. So we got the smallest one. But I don't know. Sometimes the people at Cold Stone, they're like, oh, you want the smallest one, but we're still gonna give you a big one. Boom, right there. So I was happy that we accomplished that, and then went there and rewarded ourselves. What else is new, man? Oh, I hope y'all enjoyed our conversation on the last episode with counselor, therapist, the founder of Virtual Peace of Mind, Dr. Tiffany Yancey. That was a great conversation we had with her. A conversation that we rarely have on this show, because I love to talk about politics and pop culture, but we rarely discuss mental health. And I want to start doing that a little bit more after, especially having the conversation with Dr. Yancey. So I hope y'all enjoyed that convo. Be sure to go and check out that episode if you have not done so yet. Please do. It's a great conversation with her. Again, her business is Virtual Peace of Mind. Virtual Peace of Mind. And she's awesome. What else is new? I think that's all, my friends. Got a shout out. Good friend of mine, friend of the show, Memphis City Councilwoman Jerry Green. She won her primary. She won her Democratic primary in Tennessee, and it's gonna be a hard race for her because she's running against I believe Marsha Blackburn, who's a congresswoman. She's current congresswoman representing Tennessee, but Marsha is the Republican nominee. And look, regardless of political views, man, this is still a historic race because there are there is a third candidate. I'm sorry, let me see if I can find exactly because there is an independent candidate running in that let's see here, running in that race. I'm blanking on her name, man. But there's three women. There's Jerry Green, again, Memphis City Councilwoman, a Democratic nominee. There's Marsha Blackburn, Republican nominee, and then there's a third independent candidate, also female. So that's big, because whoever will be elected, Tennessee will be electing the first woman governor for the state. So hey, Tennessee, you were on the map, man. The previous night, y'all. It was a big race out there amongst. I mean, there were some incumbents that weren't that didn't win their primary, which we're seeing that now, right? We're seeing a lot of incumbents not winning their primaries, and I left the question I think on social media, y'all, asking, what is this like? Are voters now sending a message to Washington? And what I mean by that is, whether they're Democratic incumbents, Republican incumbents, you're seeing a lot of incumbents not succeeding, right? And what I like to see is, I guess I like to see it because it's putting more power back into the voters' hands. You know how much I always say on the show that we have the power, we are the boss. We hire folks in office to represent us, right? So we have to continue to put more power into the voters' hands and not all the time in the politicians' hands. So that was my little spiel for you all today, y'all. But look, let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be joining with Devon Hamilton, candidate for Newport News City Council, representing the South District. All right, we'll be right back. Do not go anywhere. Do not change that dial. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs. And we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
And we still in traffic.
I don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
With me?
Yeah, this that new Goat Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In goats, we trust.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
I'm Aaron Phillips. Join me Saturdays at 12:30 as I host The Voice of 757. I'll share news, events, happenings, and the people that shape the 757. That's The Voice of 757, Saturday afternoon at 12:30 right here on Sky 4.
All right, my friends, welcome back. And by the way, the independent candidate in that Tennessee governor's race, I want to say her name was Lauren Pinkston. There we go, Lauren Pinkston. So I just want to acknowledge all that there is more than just the two candidates. You know how much I can't stand the two-party system, so I want to make sure I acknowledge her. All right, my friends. As I mentioned earlier, look, we are honored to have a special guest on the show, Mr. Devon Hamilton. He has decided to take the leap of faith and pursue a local office, a seat in the city of Newport News, the Southern District seat, which he will be going against two other candidates currently held by Councilman John Eley. And so Devon's goal is hoping to unseat and serve the folks in Newport News. So without further ado, let me go ahead and welcome our guest, Mr. Devon Hamilton. Devon, sir, how you doing, my friend?
Good. How about you? How are you tonight?
Man, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for taking the time out your busy schedule. As I mentioned earlier, it's not easy running for local office, any form of office, but specifically in the local area. It is, especially, and you're new to politics too, because I mean, hey, this is your first time running for a local office, so this is a lot, man. But I appreciate you taking the time to come here on the show.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, if you don't mind, Devon, sharing with those, because you're new to the show, if you don't mind sharing with the public just a brief background about yourself and kind of what then led to this pursuit running for Newport News City Council.
Yeah. Well, I was born in Newport News. I've stayed here my whole life. Grew up in the Beaconsdale neighborhood, Riverside neighborhood also. Swam at Beaconsdale Pool, played soccer. Started going to church, and I just kind of been involved in community stuff my whole life like that. Kind of what led me to run is I've been here my whole life. I've seen good things and bad things, but unfortunately right now I feel like I'm seeing a lot more bad than good, and I just kind of want to get that straightened out and fixed.
Awesome. Were you, being a hometown guy, because I had the opportunity to have on Chesapeake City Councilman Daniel Whitaker, who's also seeking a re-election, and when he gave me his backstory, he, as well, born and raised in the city of Chesapeake and now serving the community, man. How was it ever some hesitancy when you said, hey, look, I see issues going on, but it's politics. Nah, it's not for me. I mean, how was that decision making when you had said it? Look, I think I want to run for this seat.
Yeah. So I've always kind of dabbled in politics a little bit. I've never run for anything. I think maybe once or twice I've been paid a little bit by a campaign to door knock. But outside of that, I haven't, really ever seriously considered running for office. And but it's definitely a risk, but it's one I wanted to take, because this community deserves leadership that's going to represent it in the way it needs to be represented, and right now I just don't feel like we have that. So that was a big part of it, and the other part of it was I got a lot of support from a lot of people that I'm friends with, and a lot of people that I hadn't met before had been messaging me privately and asking me to run, and that kind of tipped it for me when you have strangers sliding in your DM box asking you to run. There's obviously something about that makes you feel good about yourself and makes you feel like, hey, I might actually have a chance to do this. So,
yeah, no, and I totally understand that when you hear folks that will say, hey, look, I will put my faith and vote for you because I know, hey, the kind of individual you are. I know that you care about the community. You mentioned that mainly the reason why you're running is because you're not liking what you see in your community. If you don't mind sharing some of the issues happening in the South District, and if you don't mind too, how many, and just by a ballpark, are in your district? Because as I mentioned early in the show, like I'm a resident of an at-large city, so we don't have district or wards, but exactly what it consists in the South District.
Yeah. So the South District of Newport News, it runs from J. Claude Morris all the way to East End to the water, the city. So right down there by the shipyard and all of that. So some of the things I've seen that have bothered me and pushed me to run, I have a list here I'm going to run down if that's okay, just real quick.
And if you don't mind coming, I think your mic was a little low. Could you
Yeah,
say that
yeah, I
last part?
got
I'm
you.
sorry.
Yeah. Well, really, number one, and this is for all of politics across the board, national, state, and local, is we're so divided and we're so focused on hating people based on political belief, and that's kind of mind blowing to me because I remember a time period as a younger man where I could disagree with somebody and I can still love them, I can still hang
Hmm.
out with them, like I don't have to be mean towards them, and I'd like to see us get back to that
Yeah.
because I think there's a clamoring for that across the country
Hmm.
is the ability to really just sit down, talk about things, and hey, you know what? Maybe we don't agree, but we can walk away as friends, or we can find maybe 10% of things that we can agree on, and we can work on those together.
Hmm.
You know, so that's a big part of it too, is restoring civility to our political process, and I think that starts at a local level. You have to be able to display that at a local level.
Hmm.
Another thing I studied a little bit was the child poverty rate in Newport News. In the southeast community, which is part of my district, it sits around 23%, which to me is an astonishing number. And in some of the neighborhoods in that community, such as like Marshall Ridley, it's above 50%
Wow.
of children in that neighborhood live in poverty, which that's crazy to me. And then you have the city go and spend $3 million on a festival instead of helping the kids or something like that. I mean, it just seems like the priorities aren't there. So I think things like that see me, and it just irritates me because like that $3 million could have been used to help elevate some of these kids, or it could have been invested into education, uh, it or infrastructure. I mean, anything
Yeah.
that could
When
help.
you say to poverty, and I'm just curious because I know that that's, I mean, that's something that's happening really across the states. We have too
Oh
many,
yeah,
and really in Hampton Roads.
yeah.
Or is that more like a, say, a class of a certain, like, or is that like Section 8? Is that lower than Section 8? You know what I mean? Like, is it how would, like, that, with that percentage of kids living in poverty,
Mhm.
is that homeless? Like, what does that kind of entail,
I
if you don't mind?
honestly, I think it's a combination of everything. We have a homeless crisis in Newport News. You can look on Facebook and see there's homeless kids, there's homeless adults everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
all over Newport News and all the parks and everything else. Um, and I think Newport News in general, not even just in the South District, has a child poverty problem.
Mm-hmm.
If you go look, I don't have it off the top of my head, but if you go look at the number, it's kind of crazy. It's slightly above the state average,
Mm-hmm.
which to me that's unacceptable. I don't want to be anywhere near the state average. I want to be way below it. But no.
Yeah,
So
and I didn't
that's
mean to cut you off. You could continue on. You were saying, I know you were
no.
mentioning
You're
some
good. Go
more
ahead.
issues happening in the South
Yeah,
District that you've pointed out.
yeah. So another thing I had looked at was the real estate taxes in Newport News in general. Um, you have some of the highest on the peninsula. You're $1.18 per $100.
Mm.
Um, that's one of those things where we have a lot of seniors that are starting to become homeless because they can't afford to stay in their homes. So one of the things I'm proposing to do is to freeze that real estate tax for people that are 65 and over,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that'll help curb some of the homeless issues that we have. Um, Personal property tax, kind of the same thing. You're at $4.50 per $100, and that's killing people, especially our seniors. So that's one of the things I'd like to get cut in half, but not immediately. I'd like to see that incrementally done,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can find some ways we can reduce some spending to make up for that lost revenue. I think you have to be responsible about it. You can't just full send it like that.
For
So,
sure, for sure.
but that is definitely something I want to work on getting cut in half at a minimum. Newport News has a meals tax that's at 13%. So you take your family out to eat, you get a bill, and then you get a 13% tax on whatever that bill is. Nobody
And
wants to
that's
go out to eat.
regardless if you have a family of 2, 4, or 5. That adds up.
Yeah, and nobody wants to go out to eat with that.
Hmm.
So now you're hurting your local restaurants. You know, so that's one of the things I'd like to get rid of also. So, and that's another one of those things with that festival I talked about a second ago. That $3 million could have went to addressing some of those things, making up, for some of the lost revenue if we cut those taxes.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you bring up the festival because I know that it's stuff, events like music festivals or just any, say, uh, um, functions that is being advertised, and I'll just say primarily like concerts, right? Concerts, festivals. It can sometimes be a distraction because folks are like, oh my gosh, they're distracted by the hype and the fun, but they tend to forget, okay, how does it impact the community? And to my understanding, even though a lot of folks a number of folks, I won't say a lot because I wasn't there, but there's folks that enjoyed the festival, but then there's also the notion that the festival really didn't like break even. Like financially, it wasn't like, it was just like, I think they're talking about bringing it back. It lost money, exactly. So as you mentioned, the $3 million invested in that, it's unfortunate that couldn't go towards important issues that could really benefit the citizens. And I've noticed that a disconnect in other cities because, right, we have casinos now coming in Hampton Roads. We have luxury apartments getting built 24/7, where it's like luxury apartments that folks really can't afford, and it's like, is this a smart decision to do here to continue to build up? But it's like, hey, make it affordable for folks.
Yeah, we're seeing some of that in the Southeast community too. We see a lot of nice buildings going up, but is it really helping people? It makes it look nice, but is it really helping people is the question. So, and as far as from what I've heard, there is going to be a festival next year, but I'm not sure what the plans on that are in full detail. I guess it's in the early phases. But
Devin, I'm curious to ask you, because you've been on the campaign trail and you've been talking in different communities within South District. What has the people? What have you been hearing from locals? What they're frustrated or they would like to see improve in the South District out in Newport News? What have you been hearing out in the community?
the number one thing I have heard is affordability. Nobody is able to afford to live the way they want to live right now. It's hard to get groceries, and it's hard to get gas in your car. And I didn't go to college. I'm a blue collar guy. Sometimes I got to make the decisions, that are hard. Like I got to put this back at the grocery store so I can get this for gas. But that's life. But it shouldn't have to be like that when you go to work and you work your butt off all week and you got to make a decision like that. It kind of sucks. So affordability has been the number one issue I've heard about. Two, public safety is a big one. And then probably the third is education. Newport News is in the bottom 25% of the state in education and a lot of our measurable categories, which, that's not acceptable either. And that's one of those things, if you fix education, you can fix the homeless crisis. You can fix the child poverty crisis. Because when people are educated, they can go to work and they can succeed. They can excel at their jobs because they know what they're doing. You're setting them up for success. They can go to a better school. Or maybe you don't have to go to school. Maybe you go to a trade school. Get educated with a trade. And then you're set, But, so those are the top three.
Yeah, that affordability, I feel like that's like that's just number one. And that it stuck with me because we're in a period right now where, hey, like you mentioned, grocery prices are expensive, man. There's a level where gas prices was a little too high where I'm like, let me see how far the walk is to go to work. Right?
Over $4 a gallon. It's killing people.
It is a lot, and it's unfortunate because you do have families that say, okay, look, I'm gonna have to ration out something, whether if it's and you mentioned with seniors, medicines. Your average senior might have a certain amount of medication that's like, oh, I need to get this, and my insurance can't cover the majority, but I also gotta eat in order to take. It's just it's too much, and it's unfortunate because you have seniors that worked hard that deserves the to relax and enjoy their retirement, and sometimes they have to come out of retirement to work pennies to try, and it's just to get by. Devin, when you're 29 years old, running for local office, I feel like in our society, young people running for office is still not. How can I put it? They're still not um, they don't take us seriously. I guess if I say like that,
Yeah.
they don't take young people seriously. It's like, oh, come on, this is a grown person's sport. What are you doing? You know, you go ahead and, like you said, you go ahead and, well, you can help out in the campaign, but running, wait, wait aside there. Again, you're 29 years old. When actually, if it's okay if I can ask, when did you start working with campaigns? Around like what age?
Shoot, 2012. George Allen was running for Senate against, I believe it was Tim Kaine.
Wow. Oh yeah, man, you're taking it back right there. I remember that. I'm trying to see. Wait, you said 2012? I was. Yeah, because we're not too far from. Yeah, I was probably like a junior or a sophomore in high school, I think.
I think it was right around 14 or 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I did some stuff with that, but even before that, early on, I was doing stuff with Pat Woodbury, who is a councilwoman here in Newport News.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've kind of dabbled in a little bit, gotten
how was that experience? I mean, did you? I mean, was it more so of volunteering for someone that, hey, you believe in them, you think they're going to be great for the community, so let me help out, or was it like, did it spark your interest while you were helping them with their campaign?
I think part of it comes from just, I love history. I'm a history buff. And so I think, loving history, it kind of, you get roped into political stuff and you start studying it. So for me, it was exciting because I'm like, man, I get to get involved in this great, American experiment called democracy that's, shaped the world for now 250 years at this point. So to me, it was exciting. I get to, as a younger person, get involved in things like that. So, and when you get to meet some of these bigger people as a younger person, like you meet Alan, or you meet Governor McDonald, or you meet whoever else you meet, it's pretty cool,
Yeah, I bring that up because I always try to encourage young people, because this our listeners actually much older than us, but we do have a good population of listeners that are young people, but that are kind of, again, hesitant from when it comes to politics, talking about politics. I've only been canvassing once in my lifetime, and the opportunity that I had to interact with someone close to my age, they were like, I don't follow, so I'm not voting because I don't really, I for one, the individual chose not to vote because it doesn't spark his interest. But I'm like, well, are you a taxpayer? Right? Are you, X, Y, and Z? And he's like, well, yeah. I'm like, hey, it affects you, man. I'm just saying you can't run away from politics is what I always share with folks. You cannot run away. It's a part of your everyday. It's in your schools. It's in your, at your kitchen table. It's in just everyday life.
I've tried to encourage it with some kids in our church. I have a kid that's about 12. He actually got some signatures for me.
Oh, wow.
He did something for me. I think it was signatures. He might have door knocked a little bit. It was one of those two, and so that was pretty cool. So,
that's really awesome. And that's what I like to see, man. Look, Devin, we've spoken about like wasteful spending in a sense, what has been happening in the South District in Newport News. I want to ask though, is there one city project that you have read across that you would support investing more money into? Like, would you wish, like, okay, this project that it's at, like, it has there been some good that you have noticed that you like, okay, if elected, I would love to continue this or it deserves more money than what it's receiving?
So there was an investment in the Parks and Rec budget.
Okay.
This year, I think investing in parks and recreation is extremely important. So that's something I would continue to support. Unfortunately, I think a lot of that money went towards tourism and stuff. I'd like to see it go towards continuing to maintain our parks and make them more beautiful than they are now. So, because I think Newport News has some of the best parks in the entire state. Newport News Park is beautiful, and then Riverview Park that we've just done a lot of work on is excellent. I love what we've done out there. So that was a great thing that we have done.
Wow. And it's funny because, again, I'm living in Hampton Roads all my life. I don't think I've ever been to a Newport News park. I've been to Newport News many times. Never been to one of the parks there. So it's new hearing about when you said that, hey, you have beautiful parks in the city of Newport News. Public safety, right? Public safety is always going to be a tackle right, when it comes to local challenges. Now, there was public information of that it was a decrease in a certain crime. I believe it was homicide cases in the city, which is good. But as you mentioned, hey, it's still more work to do when it comes to public safety. How important, or how would you grade as far as like public safety, at least in district, in the South District, and if elected, how would you want to help decrease the crime rate in your district?
I'm not sure how much I trust those numbers, to be totally honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I did look at those, and I think one of the numbers I looked at, it said homicide dropped by 9%. But when I pulled up the number, it was like, might not have been homicide. It was something, but it said the number
Mm-hmm.
went from 11 to 10. And I'm like, so your 9% looks great, but it's only one.
Mm.
It's just a small number. But it is what it is. But public safety, just I think part of it's supporting our police officers.
Mm-hmm.
I think these guys put a lot on the line every day to go out and try to protect us. Of course, there's some bad apples, but there's a lot of good ones too. And so I think supporting them is really important. Letting them know that, hey, we're behind you, and we want to see you do great things in our community and engage our community in a way that's positive. Um, Also, public safety with not just police, but with the fire department, with the paramedics. I think a lot of times fire department gets overlooked when we talk about public safety, and
Mm.
that's not necessarily fair to them because they do a lot of great stuff, especially with community engagement. I see our fire department at a lot of festivals, a lot of times in the parks, just engaging with people, and that's a great thing. So I want to support that and give them the equipment they need to succeed, and give them the personnel they need to succeed. I know they could always use more hands, so that's something I'd certainly want to look at is expanding hiring in the fire department and the police department. I'd make that probably a priority of mine.
Awesome, awesome. You mentioned kind of going back to the money aspect, because hey, when it comes to money in the economy, that's that always catches, that's top priority for folks. You mentioned about working on the taxes within the city, but also you know higher paying jobs, right? But what
Yes.
any initiatives that you, if elected, that you would love to bring to the table as far as just attracting higher paying jobs for for your district, and even really not just your district but for the city of Newport News.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I think we could really, really emphasize trade education here because
Mm,
we have the shipyard, we have the ports of Norfolk. Um, we got plenty of small businesses that do HVAC, auto work, metal fabrication, all kinds of stuff like that. And those jobs are going to be the best paying jobs in the next 20 years because everyone's going so focused on technology. We're losing the blue collar aspect of stuff.
mm,
So if we can focus on trade education and teach students that are juniors and seniors in high school how to work with their hands, I think you'll really see the city financially elevated within the next 20 years. And I think that's a long game to play, but I think it's one worth playing.
yeah, yeah,
That
I,
would
I
be
agree with you on that one,
that would
because
be huge.
that's one thing I wish I was a little more educated was being more being able to do more things with my hands. And it's funny because my dad is a vocational educator. He teaches paramedics and firefighters and search and rescues. So he did it for about 14 years. But I know the importance of it because it's like, okay, college might not be for everybody. And it's like, okay, if that's not the case, then what is going to be the next option? So I totally agree with you on that one. Let's talk about infrastructure. Now, look, road maintenance, aging infrastructure. Now, I don't think the city of Newport News has, like, say, a flooding issue like Norfolk has. Like we just
Yeah.
saw a gentleman freaking jet skiing, on
Did
Monticello.
you see the one swimming too?
Oh, now that was disgusting. I'm like, oh, okay,
I
that
would
guy's
never
gonna catch
swim in
something.
flood water. I'm good.
I would never eat. I always say, you know what, I'm gonna swim in water that I can
Yeah.
see my feet in. You know what I mean? Like, it's just if I can't
Yeah.
if I can't see through, I don't know if I can swim in it. But Newport News doesn't really have a flood, and you might, again, I'm not a resident. Do y'all have minor flooding in
I
their
don't.
community?
I'm not aware of any major flood problems in Newport
Okay.
News. If there is one, please reach out to me. Whoever's
Mm-hmm.
if you're in Newport News and you're watching, please reach out. I'd love to talk.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not aware of anything like that. That's significant.
Now, when it comes to now aging infrastructure, right, or at least better infrastructure, where do you believe the city should prioritize investments?
Water infrastructure. We've come out and said this year that our water infrastructure is lagging a little bit behind.
Mm,
So, they've got to go up on the cost of water. I think it's 31 cents per gallon or something like that. So that's something we need to prioritize, especially
mm,
because we have contracts with surrounding municipalities, and we want to make sure we're providing quality for those contracts too. So that's important to me. And then schools also. A lot of our
mm.
schools are pretty far behind.
Wow.
They're kind of falling apart inside when you walk in. So those are some things I'd like to get addressed with infrastructure.
Hmm.
Probably those would be my top two priorities with that. And then after
Okay.
that, things.
Last thing I want to, well, not last thing, but another thing I want to bring up, and this is like one of my biggest, uh, uh, I wouldn't say it's an issue, but it's something that I truly care about when it comes to just politics in general, is transparency. I feel as though
Yes.
there's a disconnect between voters and elected officials.
Yes.
And it just it kills me because I feel as though you start seeing your elected official or your representative once it's campaign season. You
Yeah.
never I never know where my elected official is at, right? Regardless of level of government and so on. I'm like, I didn't even know. Oh, it's campaign season. No, so somebody decided to show up,
Hey, how you doing?
and
Yeah.
it's very annoying. And so I want to ask you, how would you, if elected, how would you make City Hall more transparent? Or what's the transparency? How would you at least bridge that gap between the trust between the public, between the community and council?
Yeah. So that's one of the key issues for my campaign, honestly, because my opponent, Councilman Eley, he is not a very, in my opinion, not a very transparent leader in the city. He actually blocks people on his page that disagree with him or challenge him on things. He'll get mad and have a nasty response and block them, or something like that, which that's unacceptable from a public official. Um, for me, what I would like to do is I'd like to have town halls every year throughout the year, so that citizens can actually come to me with concerns. And my number's public, my social media is public. If you have an issue, you are more than welcome to find me, call me, text me, whatever you want to do, and I will do the best I can to get it addressed and meet with you and make sure it's taken care of. And I really mean that, because when you're running for office, you're running to represent people, and
Mm.
you have to know the people and be with the people to represent them, in my opinion. So,
Okay.
town halls and
Oh,
accessibility.
what are you gonna say, Devin? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just closing with that. Town halls and accessibility. Call me, come to a town hall. I'm here for you.
Now, one thing, and I've heard this from many elected officials. It's like, hey, one of the important things is having team, that team work on council, right? Again, you're gonna have folks that lean left. You're gonna have Democrats. You're gonna have Republicans. You're gonna have Independents. You're gonna have nobody. Not everybody can agree or not can, but it's usually rare when everybody can come to an agreement. For the most part, you're gonna have your differences. How important is it for you to put labels aside and realize, hey, look, the bigger, and now you're going to be representing your district, but at the end of the day, it still is a team when you're
Yeah,
on council. How important is it to for you to put the labels aside and say, hey, look,
yeah,
we gotta work together, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, we can agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, we can agree that we do care about the community.
yeah. So that's part of what I was talking about earlier with civility. Is having civility in this stuff is extremely important. And I've tried to demonstrate that. I've got the endorsement of two political parties, the Libertarian Party and the Republican Party. Uh, I don't know another candidate that has that in the 757 right now.
Hmm.
And if the Democrats want to talk to me, I'd love to talk to them. So I'm not opposed to working with people that maybe I don't agree with, and I think I've shown that throughout the campaign already. But labels aren't really that important to me, to be honest with you. If you have a good idea, we need to roll with it. If you have a bad idea, we can talk about it and maybe find some common ground to work together on.
Hmm.
So, I mean, to me, that's just kind of basic common sense stuff, is to find stuff you agree on and work together on. I don't know why it's so hard for a lot of people now to do that.
Yeah, I've for my philosophy is that I feel as though if we all sit down, we'll probably agree on, I'll say, between 75 and 85% of the stuff. And then when we find the stuff that we disagree on, we focus on that more than we do the stuff that we agree on. And then another thing I've always said was that we all want to see the same the same goal, but we might have a different pathway of getting to that goal. And we let that kind of interfere, like, no, my way is better, my way.
Yeah.
And it causes big division. And then of course you do have folks in office that, hey, they make it more of a title than an actual act of service. I mean, that does exist in politics. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat that.
That's so frustrating to me. It's like I'm honestly like, I'm not in this for me. This is a lot of work. I'm not complaining about it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun. I'm not in it for me. I truly think our community can do better than it's doing now. And so it's frustrating to me when people make it all about a title. So
before we end the conversation, we're gonna have some fun here, Devin, because we don't gotta talk about politics all the time. I'm bored. No, I'm joking. But like, let's have some fun though. One thing I found out we have in common is, hey, we are both fans of professional wrestling. Like I would say, for me, it was really as a kid. I remember when it was action figures, it was only wrestling action figures. That's what. And I was talking to a buddy of mine earlier because he's a local journalist, and there was a story that they were doing in regards to collecting cards and gambling and X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, man, I wish I would have still had some of my action figures, because I could turn them into collectibles, but then I'll be kind of like a hoarder in a sense, because I don't have the room. But I was that kid, and I've always enjoyed wrestling. And then it left me at a when I was kind of like in high school, junior high school, and then I kind of came back to loving it. And so we're gonna have some fun, man. A little rapid fire round. So I want to ask you, if you had to rank your top 5, your Mount Rushmore of pro wrestlers, dead or alive, who would they be?
In order.
All
right. Number 5.
And actually, I'll make it easy for you. Not in order. They don't have to be in order. I'll make it a little easy.
Well, I think the first one's easy. The greatest of all time is Ric Flair. Flair has got to be on there. I mean, he is, Nature Boy. He's it. He's the guy that made it. Probably Undertaker. For sure, has got to be on there just because he's consistent.
Okay.
I think Hogan, for what he did for the industry, has got to be in there. I think Stone Cold has got to be on there. And then your 5 spot's hard, because you got Cena, you got Andre, Shawn Michaels, you got Triple H, you got, it's hard. I'll probably put Cena on at 5. I'm not a big Cena guy, but he's just done so much to grow it that you got to put him on there.
You know who I'm surprised, one name that I did not hear. Oh yeah, I was waiting for it. I'm surprised. I wasn't trying to force that, but it's like I was surprised that wasn't, because each star has its strength of why they, like as you mentioned, help make the business great. And Ric Flair, definitely the best villain ever. I mean, he's just best overall. Like just catchphrase. I mean, this man really, he doesn't have to do anything because his catchphrase, his persona makes him money. He doesn't have to go back in wrestling. That's why I had jokes saying, man, some of these guys,
it's like boom,
It is. Undertaker, of course, he's an icon. I mean, Stone Cold, one of the greatest between Stone Cold and The Rock. I mean, they're some of the best talkers in the game. I mean, for me, Shawn Michaels is good. I'll be honest, I don't think John Cena would be in my top 5, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of heat for that, because he definitely helped increase it. But it's just, I don't know. I
don't like his wrestling at all, but I think just because of the popularity and the growth, that's why I put him in there.
Well, that's almost like I mean, if you think about it, personally, I was just about to say Hogan was really not the greatest wrestler style. He was just a big, massive dude, as you said, persona. eat your vitamin, take your vitamins, say your prayers, this and that and the other. Like, I mean, yeah, man, it's, but okay. So, okay, bet. Let me see. What is your, if you had to pick your, favorite promotion now, and in their peak era, WWE, TNA, ECW, or AEW. If you had to pick a promotion in their good peak periods, who would be? And you can rank them, from top to least, or just if you had to pick a favorite.
Can I go back farther than that?
You can go back farther, sure.
I think in the peak you had the Four Horsemen, Rock and Roll Express.
Ooh.
I think I'd go with the NWA.
Ooh. Oh, and I'm surprised. I'm sorry. I left out WCW. I'm sorry. I left out WCW too.
Oh no, WCW is definitely in. Oh man, that's hard to even think about that either. Oh man, in order, I'd probably go WCW 1, NWA 2, WWE 3, ECW 4, and AEW 5.
Oh my. Whoo. Devin, we're gonna have some conversations on this one. This is. I mean, it's just wrestling is one of those things that, look, wrestling might bring politicians together. I'm just saying, right?
Hey, common ground.
It is exactly common ground.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Greatest manager. If you had to pick a manager, who's your greatest manager?
Man, Bobby Heenan, Paul Bearer, Dude Love. Gosh, Paul Bearer.
Okay.
Paul Bearer,
Okay.
because he played the character so well.
Sure did.
It was.
You're absolutely
Paul Bearer,
right.
The Undertaker, awesome.
Who was I'm trying to, out of the number of wrestlers that you had the opportunity to meet in person, who just, like, it was, I can die, go to heaven now. I met this wrestler. I'm good.
First time I met Flair.
You said first time. How many times did you meet Flair?
Oh my gosh. First time I met Flair was 2009. I met him as recently as last year.
Wow.
Every time he comes to town, I try to go. I tell you what, though, Trish Stratus was another one. Trish.
Hey.
Trish was.
Don't get me in trouble. Hey, I'm a married man, but let me just tell you, there was a reason why the Attitude Era was my favorite era.
That's right. Trish was. When I met Trish, I was just kind of expecting a quick, snap and go, and she was very nice. So I was impressed with that. So that was a good one. And I didn't think I'd ever get a chance to meet her, but Kane was awesome too.
Kane, yep. Mayor Jacobs, Glenn Jacobs in Knox County. Yep.
I need to get him to Newport News.
You said what?
I need to get him to Newport News.
I don't know, man. I think Kane might stay in Tennessee. I think he'll stay in Tennessee. But it makes sense because Tennessee is so. I'm worried about the heat here. I think Tennessee is hot enough, so it kind of it flows with the Okay. Let me see. Okay. Now this is not a wrestling. This is not a wrestling related question, and I feel like I've asked you like 20,000 questions. But favorite show, if you when you have free time, what is this show, or do you binge watch? TJ, what is your favorite show that you're watching right now?
I watch a lot of history stuff.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go off of I'm not gonna say anything history related because nobody will watch it. Geez, that's hard. Friends is great, but it's classic. Scandal was good.
Okay. Yep.
House of Cards.
I was just about to say I'm catching a pattern here. A lot of political related shows.
I'm not afraid to watch some of those girly shows either, like Love Island or Summer I Turned Pretty or something.
Hey! This is a judgment-free show right here. Anybody that has an issue, they can go. Well, hey, we're unfiltered. We can actually say it, but for the sake of your campaign, I want to keep it clean. But no, man. Okay. If you had, last question. Second to last question. If you, sir, had the opportunity to have a career in professional wrestling, what will be the name of would you be a heel? Would you prefer to be a heel, a baby face? a referee, a general manager? Like what will be the name? What will be the name if you had to say it?
I would want to be the baddest bad guy of all time. I love heels, man. I want to be the bad. I want to get booed out of the stadium. Chairs thrown at me, drinks thrown at me. I want it all. I want all the heat. But it's funny. I had a friend of mine. We were talking about if I had a wrestling character a couple months ago, and we had this really stupid idea called the Milkman, like a villainous Stone Cold Steve Austin, but instead of beer with milk.
Would it be like 2% milk? Would it be goat milk?
Whole
then you
milk.
really
No,
piss some people off.
Milk, man.
It gotta be whole milk. Okay.
Might be raw milk just to make people mad.
That is funny.
But the little red lucha libre mask.
That is classic. That is classic. Well, look, Devin, man. Again, I appreciate you taking the time out your schedule. Again, all jokes aside, you have a race that you're running in the city of Newport News, representing South District. How can folks continue to if they have any questions, if they want to follow up with you and reach out, how can they get in touch? And then also too, I'm sorry, Matt, it's a two-part question. Why should citizens of the South District in Newport News choose Devon Hamilton when it come November?
So how you get in touch with me? Devon Hamilton for City Council on Facebook. Follow it. You can shoot me a message on there. I try to respond as fast as I can. My phone number is very public. I think it's on there too. Shoot me a text. Shoot me an email. I'm very open to it. So I try to be as accessible as possible. Two, why should people vote for me? I love this city. I've been here my whole life. I'm not going to lie and say I'm the best talker in the world, because I'm not. But I will work hard, and I will do the best I can to make life the best it can be for the people in this city. And that's why you should support me.
Awesome. Well, look, Devin, if you don't mind, I would love to chop it with you just for a couple seconds after the show, but I appreciate you taking the time and enjoy this conversation. Best of luck to you on your campaign. And look, we'd love to have you back on, however the outcome is, hey, as a elected official or as still a person continuing to do great things in the community. We want to have you back on talking about some wrestling, because we have fun talking about wrestling here.
I'd love to do that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, look, again, we appreciate you, man. I want to chop it over with you just for a couple seconds after the show, but we appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, my friends. Well, look, I hope you enjoyed yet another great convo here on the Arrington Gavin Show. I want a big thanks to Devon Hamilton, again, taking the time out of his busy schedule to come here to speak more about his platform. I hope you enjoyed. We had a lot of fun talking about wrestling, but also speaking on reasons why he's running for office in Newport News. So come November, for those that live in the South District area, hey, remember the name. You got a bunch of candidates that are running. You know how to get in touch with them. Until next time, my friends, stay safe out there, stay blessed, and always stay informed. Look, I'll talk to you soon for another great convo here on the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.